capital city of Kansas, as we'll be talking all things Washburn basketball for the next hour here at Skinny Sports Bar and Grill. The Washburn men, the Washburn women, well, they do not have a game coming up on Thursday. So their next game will be on Saturday, and they play that team to the south about 50 miles down the turnpike. It is known as the Turnpike Tussle. That will be coming up on Saturday, 1:30 and 3:30 from White Auditorium. So it should be a fun one coming up on Saturday. Again, we'll talk all things Washburn women's basketball with the head coach, Ron Mchenry, coming up at the bottom of the hour. To start things off, though, here at Skinny Sports Bar and Grill, again, come on out every single Wednesday evening. Cheeseburger and fries, $5.49. Monday through Friday from 11 to 2. It is a cheeseburger and fry lunch special. You can't get a better cheeseburger, fries, and or tots. You can interchange them. And if you want to come in and pick it up and get it to go, you can do that as well. Simply call Skinny's here at Skinny Sports Bar and Grill, and they will deliver it out to your car as well here at Skinny's Sports Bar and Grill. Of course, coming up on Sunday, it is the AFC Championship game coming out to Skinny's great food and drink specials. Of course, every single time the Chiefs are in action, they are still in action coming up on Sunday with a 5:40 kickoff time against the Buffalo Bills. But to talk all things Washburn men's basketball is the head coach of the Washburn men's basketball team. He is head coach Brett Ballard. The Washburn Ichabods ranked 7th in the recent NABC poll, as the Washburn Ichabods coming off a win over the Pittsburgh State Gorillas, 84-62. Now, the Washburn women played last night, so trying to get my bearings scheduled. Okay, the Washburn women played Lincoln last night, and we're going to have some other makeup games going forward. So the schedule is not as simple and easy as double headers here on out, as head coach Brett Ballard joining us. You got scheduled games, new games, and okay, this Thursday we don't play. I mean, this is a lot more different and a lot more unique than years past for sure. I bet for you, schedule-wise even.
For me, for sure, and for you, Jake, you've got a toddler at home, so you've got the ultimate schedule buster. And I know you're up with little man in the middle of the night, and you're dealing with all kinds of schedule changes and games and all this. So I can't complain because my kids are older. I'm getting good sleep, and I know you're not getting as much sleep as I am. So I'm dealing with it better. I'm probably easier than you are. But yeah, it's we've been lucky, Jake, on the men's side as far as only having, knock on wood, I'm going to say this and it's going to come back and bite me, but only having one game rescheduled so far, that Lincoln game, which was before Christmas, that we were supposed to play, and we rescheduled that to February. Other than that, we've been, fortunate. You've got to have, your team test the right way, and then the opposing team.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
There's two variables there, but thankful that we've been able to get our games in, and no game this week. Midweek was really good timing for us, just from a health standpoint, and a big one, obviously, like you mentioned, on Saturday against the rival.
Well, the Washburn Ichabods have won back-to-back games, taking care of Missouri Southern 99-58, and Pittsburgh State 84-62. And Brett, this team is a little bit shorthanded. I mean, no other way to look at it. Drew Mashoff, Will McKee, and Johnny Klossing did not play against Missouri Southern. And then Drew Mashoff, Johnny Klossing did not play against Pittsburgh State. Will McKee got in a little bit, which is nice to help out just even a few minutes. But this is a team that's kind of beat up just kind of with the dealing of the nicks and bruises, some other more serious injuries that you're trying to fight through. And it makes it hard to practice. I mean, and now you're trying to figure out, substitution patterns and how are we going to handle fouls and all this type of situation. This is something that every coach eventually has to deal with, because knock on wood, you haven't had many injuries during the season the last couple of years here, which is a great thing. But this has been a kind of everything happens at once for you.
Yeah, we've had a few minor ones here and there, Jake, but we've, throughout the last couple of years, we've been pretty fortunate to avoid the major injury bug. And, even this year we had been, pretty clean. We had quite a few guys nicked up and banged up early in the year. We were trying to practice and just practice body-wise. But, once we got to the games, it seemed like we had quite a few guys available and able to play. Last week was crazy. You come off, you beat Northwest last Thursday, then you lose the game Saturday, and then, man, Monday, all of a sudden the injury bug hit us last Monday. Unfortunately, I'll start with this. Drew Mashoff's not going to be able to play. It looks like the rest of the year, Jake. Sports hernia. He was battling through that before Christmas. It kind of flared up basically right up to the first couple of games. He played really well at Hayes.
Yep.
Won us that game, to be honest with you. J. Lou made the shot, but Drew made the plays before that to keep us in the game.
He had 18 that game.
Yeah, played pretty good at Kearney, if I'm not mistaken, and then all of a sudden just had kind of an abdominal pain and groin area injury, and was determined he had a sports hernia. Has been trying to battle through that, and we're trying to do some things to get him through, but it just became too much, and decided that it was best for him to shut it down. So he's gonna take care of that, and we obviously wish him the best with trying to get healthy and appreciate what he sacrificed for our team. And then Johnny Klossing, he tweaked his foot against Missouri Western, didn't play that entire game, played the first 45 seconds or whatever, and then didn't play. Came back Monday, and it was still pretty sore. Wasn't able to go last week. We're semi-hopeful that he could maybe go Saturday, but he's still trying to get back from a foot injury. But we do expect him back, like I told you, sooner rather than later.
Yep.
And then Will McKee, his knee that he had surgery on
this offseason,
from a couple years ago, just kind of flared up on him, and he couldn't go last week either. Thursday, started feeling a little bit better, so he gave us a couple minutes on Saturday. He's looked good in practice this week. I think,
that's good news.
I think that we've kind of got that on the right track, and so, anyways, ton of injuries, and a lot of those kind of came to the forefront last Monday, Tuesday, and we're going against Missouri Southern, who's had a good team, got picked second in our league. Cam Martin's one of the best players in MIAA, big physical player, and we're without Johnny Klossing, without Will McKee, two of our bigs. I was concerned going into that game, and we had one of our, clearly one of our best performances of the year. We were really good on both sides of the ball. I was really proud of the way the guys rallied and came together, and like I said, it was a performance that I didn't necessarily see coming, but we were really good on both sides.
Well, let's get into the game against the Missouri Southern Lions. You win 99-58, and in this game, you had everybody step up that you needed to step up. When somebody goes down like a Drew Mashoff or a Johnny Klossing and a Will McKee, I mean, all that you got was Levi Brown scores 19 points, career high, makes 6 of 7 from deep. Rathan Carter comes in, makes 3 threes to help fill the void. Again, I know Will Rathan got put in the starting lineup, but again, got played a lot more minutes. Rathan ends up with 15 points. He was terrific in that game. Jalen Lewis goes 5 for 5. Tyler Guyman, again, not to overlook, we'll get to Tyler Guyman, but Guyman did Guyman things. That's what I like to say on the radio. And you had guys step up, rise to the occasion. That's why you say, that's what coaches preach, next man up. And it really was the next man up. And offensively, it got going, and it clicked early after a bank three-pointer from Tyler Guyman from about 35 feet. And to me, that wasn't the most impressive thing. That was on the defensive side when you hold a Southern team who, and we alluded to this during the broadcast, when Washburn and Southern play, if you don't score 90, you don't win that game. It is a game that is just so offensively played, and it's not because I don't think it's bad defense. I just think that Washburn has been elite offensively going back to the Javion Blake days with Brady Skeens and David Salak. They've had, the Kinzer Lamberts and the Corey Gilberts and the Elijah Clarks and all of that, plus Cam Martin. To hold them to essentially nothing. I mean, they scored 58 points. And I know at the end of the game it got out of hand and they, put in their subs and everything. But, I mean, they put in their subs and they scored 58. I mean, it was a phenomenal effort on offense and defense with everybody rising to the occasion.
Yeah, I think the defensive side really started with us. We were so thin at the big guy, at our big spot. We really had Jace Williams and Rathan Carter, anybody that was above 6'8", because our freshmen were in quarantine. for COVID. I didn't mention that. Last week we had to deal with freshmen being contact tracing, and so our entire freshman group who lived together were out. So we didn't have some bodies from them, and we challenged with Jason Rathan, like, you've got to guard without fouling because we need your size in this game. The problem sometimes when you do that, then they don't guard at all, and you worry about playing Olay defense and just giving up a bunch of easy baskets. I thought the first half was a huge key in that those guys, Cam still got his, but I thought they guarded him well enough. I thought we did a nice job neutralizing the guys outside of Cam, and we did a great job of getting through the first half without any foul trouble. And then that allowed us to go play a little more aggressive in the second half on both ends of the court. Offensively, it was one of those games where, Guyman banks in the first three, and then after that, we were shooting on a big hoop. We generated a lot of really good looks, and so I feel good about this team making those. But still, we shot at a really high level, and it was one of those games where, the score got out of hand a little bit. I don't know that we're that good, and Southern's certainly not that bad, but we got on that roll, and it was fun. Guys stepped up, like you said. Jalen Lewis and Levi Brown were terrific, and Tyler Guyman once again led the way.
When you see guys just get on a roll, do you call certain plays like Levi Brown and Jalen Lewis? I mean, if I wouldn't care where they shot it from. If they would have pulled up at midcourt, I would say that's a good shot because it was open. Do you try to call different plays to get them rolling, and do you have set plays for different players?
Yeah, we do. We try to generate some looks for those guys, especially once they get a hot hand. We have a handful of set plays that for whatever guy that may have a hot hand, and to try to generate some good looks for them. It's hard, Jake, though, because teams scout you so well that they start to key in on those plays. What has really helped us is we've got an elite point guard that's got great feel for, all right, that guy's running a fever. He's made a couple shots. Let me figure out a way to get him another look. Basketball has changed. Everybody wants your point guard to score it now. That's kind of the trend in basketball, especially the NBA level. That most of the point guards you want to score. Even in college, you expect your point guard to score some points, and ours does that. But I think at times what's taken away from the game, and for some teams, is if your point guard's scoring it but doesn't have any feel on when to get other guys' shots. Sometimes other guys don't benefit nearly as much from your offense. Just because your point guard scores doesn't mean your offense can be great. I think that we've been, we're the leading point scoring team in the MIAA, partly because we play with pace. You got to get enough stops, but also because Tyler Guyman is a nice mix between old school and new school. He can score it, and he's done that at a good level, high level, but he's also, I believe, the league leader in assists.
Yeah, he is.
And so he's finding guys, and he knows who to find and when to find them. It's one thing to pass it to a guy just to pass it. He's creating, drawing help, and getting it to the guy who just made a three and trying to get him another one.
Well, the Ichabods come off the win against Missouri Southern. And do you ever think, hey, I don't know if we can shoot the ball as well as we did 2 games in a row? Does that ever come into coach's mind? The fun joke that we always say is save some of those for the next game. Like, do you think about that? Because and your former boss and mentor Bill Self said he brings up the law of averages.
Yeah.
A team that shoots 30% from 3, if they go 8 of 11 in the first half, the odds are that they're going to regress a little bit. You're not a 30% shooting team. You're a 41% 3-point shooting team. You've got, Nelson at 43%, Levi at 54, Rathan at 50. You've got, Jalen Lewis at 57 and Tyler Guyman at 35. And when Drew's there, he's at 30. So again, you're not a 30 and 40% shooting is it's a Grand Canyon gap. So a part of you says, we are a good shooting team, but still, do you ever wonder, gosh, can we play that efficient on offense for 48 hours later?
I mean, I think as a coach, we certainly don't expect to make. We've made 18 threes. You can't expect to do that every game. And I do agree that the law of averages would tell you that over time you're going to find some type of balance there. But I also think that shooting shooters, when you've got a good shooting team, it breeds confidence in other guys to make shots. And it could go both ways. And my first year was an example of, I looked this up, Jake. My first year, we had a great team, and I inherited a good team. Well, we were last in the conference in 3-point percentage. And we had some guys that just struggled behind the arc a little bit and struggled early in the year. And Cameron Wiggins was a terrific shooter.
Agreed.
One of the better shooters to play at Washburn. Early in the year, the team in general wasn't a great shooting team, and Cam just couldn't throw it in the ocean before Christmas. Got good looks, was putting some pressure on himself senior year, new coach, new system, a lot of things going on. But I think part of it was he felt some pressure because nobody else was necessarily making shots. Javion a little bit. Tyler Guyman was a freshman and wasn't comfortable yet. And so, I think he felt a little bit of pressure, like, man, I got to make these shots, which then in tune made him not shoot it as well early. He got going later. But when you have a bunch of guys on a team that make shots, I think that a little bit of the psychology is, man, I don't feel as much pressure to make mine because I know other guys made theirs. And also just seeing that ball go in the basket from your teammates, can sometimes snowball on you. Again, we're not going to shoot it like we did last week. We had 15 against Pitt and 18 threes against Southern. That's not going to happen. And you got to be good enough to, we talk to our team all the time, you got to be good enough to win the games when you don't shoot it well. And that's what that team my first year, we won a lot of games, even though we didn't shoot it well. We were just tough, and we would guard and defend and rebound. And so, the great thing is when you make shots and when you guard and rebound, then you can have some scores like we had last week.
Well, the Ichabod's again take care of business against Missouri Southern. They win that one 99-58. They beat Pittsburgh State 84-62. We'll recap a little bit of that game, discuss something that's never been done in Washburn history before. Yes, at least in the MIAA, maybe back in the good old NSI or CSIC days. That predates you and me. We'll maybe try to dig deeper into that, but we'll get to some of that. We'll preview Emporia State. That's all coming up here as we're talking with head coach Brett Ballard of the Washburn basketball team. The Washburn men 10-1 on the year. We are at the halfway point, ladies and gentlemen. 22-game regular season. We are 11 games in. We got 11 more games to go in just a month and about 2 weeks. We'll get to the Emporia State game. That's all coming up here on the Washburn Coaches Show, live from Skinny's Sports Bar and Grill. of the Washburn men's basketball team. Of course, every single Wednesday here at Skinny's, we have the Washburn Coaches Show. Come on out here to Skinny's. Again, $5.49 cheeseburger and fries is the best lunch special out here. 11 to 2. Again, call ahead if you want them to come deliver it. You can pick up as well. They can get everything to go here at Skinny's Sports Bar and Grill. Again, tonight, that's the special. Of course, you got Taco Tuesdays and everything. Coming up on Sunday, it is the Chiefs versus the Buffalo Bills. And the Kansas City Chiefs, when they play, again, all the TVs will be turned to CBS for the AFC title game. Great food and drink specials every time the Chiefs are in action. And here's the best thing about this. Chiefs play on Sunday. The Emporia game got moved up again. That works out so nice that there's a game on Saturday. We can come back home, and then we can be nervous all day long before the Chiefs play, right?
Did you think the Chiefs were going to win when Mahomes went out?
I said 60%. I thought they'd still win.
Really, I was down. I was doom and gloom at our house. The Ballard house got really dark and ugly real quick. Kelly was trying to rally me and my son, but I was doom and gloom. I'm shift, and again, I can't let go of the past playoff Chiefs. I know we're a new team, but growing up,
that again. But when I talk about past playoff, I always talk about that was BN.
I know.
That's before Mahomes, but
before Mahomes.
But when Mahomes goes down, you don't got it.
She was like, and she was funny. She's great. She's good. She goes, well, you guys, she said the exact thing, and we were laughing. She goes, Washburn only had 9 players this week, and we rallied. The Chiefs can do it too.
She is a coach's wife. Boy, she is fantastic.
Because, man, I was down and out.
Look at her talking you off the ledge.
I know she's good at it. But. No, it was good because, normally Emporia hosts that high school tournament. So we were supposed to play on Sunday because the gym wasn't available. High school tournament got moved or canceled, whichever. And obviously a lot better, not just because the Chiefs game, but I think just better flow.
Yeah, play Saturday. Yeah, you bet. No question. Well, we're talking with head coach Brett Ballard. The Ichabod's ranked 7th in the country, 10-1, back-to-back wins over Southern and Pittsburgh State. And you beat Pittsburgh State 84-62. And the score at halftime is 33-31, and it was a great finish to the first half. I always say, and I think you've told me this before, if the game is kind of fragmented and not very flowing, which I didn't think that first half was, the final 2 minutes can be so big because if you can put together a run, what you did, take the lead into the half up by 2, and you can say, yeah, look, guys, we shot 33%, didn't play that well, and we're up by 2. I mean, that's a good thing to say, and I'm assuming that was what was discussed at halftime. So, guys, keep doing what we're doing. What did you think about the start, and what changed at halftime?
Yeah, I thought Pitt played well to start that game. I thought they came out with good energy, and they executed. On the defense end, we were kind of in between. They were posting. They were kind of posting their 4-man and getting us caught a little bit in between on if we wanted to help on the post or stay out on the perimeter, and they generated some good looks off of that action, and so we were a little bit in between on that. I thought offensively, and I actually showed our guys film of this week. I thought we got good looks in the first half. Some of them just didn't go. I mean, we generated some good looks, and I told the guys at halftime, one, we knew it wasn't going to be easy. The Southern game got snowballed on us quick, and we were up 20-0. And listen, we can't expect that to happen every game. We knew Pitt State is a good team. We're going to come out and fight. And 2, we had made that adjustment defensively, finished the half the right way, kind of got a little bit of flow offensively, and told them, I didn't think we had to make, after the defensive adjustments we made in the first half during the game, let's just keep kind of doing what we do. And still, the first 10 minutes of the half was kind of back and forth, and we generated a little bit of a lead there, but I thought we were really, really good the last 10 minutes, especially the last probably from about the 12-minute mark to the 3-minute mark. We just had some good possessions, really put it on them, and got the momentum at the right time. Good win for us because I think Pitt State's got a nice roster, and they played a lot of teams tough in the league and had a solid league record, but to win that game by 20, was happy with our guys, and like I said, just kind of got that momentum in that second half at the right time.
Well, the Ichabods again win it 84-62, and I want to bring up Levi Brown because Levi didn't get a ton of minutes early on, But my goodness, I mean, he's automatic. I mean, he goes 6 of 7 from deep in the game against Southern. He backs that up with a 5 of 8 from deep against Pittsburgh State. I mean, if you think about that, 3 missed threes out of 15 attempts, like 12 of 15 from deep. Like, that's crazy. Like that's like Steph Curry type of numbers.
Yeah, it's hard to do with nobody in the gym, let alone defense is flying at you. He's really been playing well and shooting it well. To be honest with you, I've been a pleasant surprise. I thought he could eventually help us, maybe later in the year or even later in his career.
Yep.
But he's worked at it. The guys have confidence playing with him, and the step he's taking, he's shooting the ball well. But on the defensive end is where I was not sure, who would he guard? He just came in and needed to get quicker laterally. He's worked hard in the weight room to improve his strength and improve his lateral speed. So he's gotten much better on the defensive end the last year and a half, and that redshirt year last year was good for him. But, man, offensively, he's just been a spark plug for us off that bench. And like I told you after the game, Jake, I'm more surprised when he misses than when he makes them. He just shooting at a high level. Again, he works at it. He's there, first guy in practice almost every day. Yesterday, the day before, stayed after practice. He stays out every day. Stays after, and it may only be 5 or 10 minutes, but he sees that ball go in the basket a lot, and happy for him. Good kid, and he's working hard.
Muscle memory, it's all it is, and that's impressive to do that. He knows his stroke, and if something's off, he knows how to fix it too. That's an impressive thing about the effort right now of Levi Brown. But I mentioned this, something in Washburn history has occurred over the last 3 weeks. And I thought after the game against Southern, there was a chance of this happening when he went for 28 points, 10 assists, and 7 rebounds. He backed it up with 19 points, 5 assists, no turnovers, 3 boards in the game against Pittsburgh State. Tyler Guyman is the 3-time in a row, not 3-time during the year, because that's happened before, 3 straight weeks, he is the MIAA Player of the Week. And I asked Gene Castle, the award-winning sports information, I was like, Gene, has this ever happened before? And he goes, well, it hasn't happened at Washburn. So there is just something in and of itself with the All-Americans that Washburn has had, even since 2000, when you go back to the Ryan Murphys and the Iwana Geeses and that type of stuff in the 2000s. 3 times in a row. I asked Gene, is there a way we could figure out if someone in the MIAA has done that? Because I've seen back-to-back. I've seen that. Cam Martin, in fact, last year had back-to-back MIAA Players of the Week. But I've never seen 3 straight in a row. Like, the numbers that he's put up these last 3 weeks are, as one of my friends said, he's going all Chris Paul on you guys. Like, a point guard who isn't, the biggest. He didn't say Russell Westbrook. He said Chris Paul, because Westbrook is 6'7". I mean, that's a different type of point guard. I mean, Tyler, I know he's listed at 6'1", and I've told him, buddy, I love you to death. You ain't no 6'1".
Yeah, more 5'11".
So it really is to the tune, and this is what I've been saying on our sports talk show on our sister station. I feel bad for the fans that they're not able to watch this guy. Like, you can't come in because he is worth the price of admission.
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons. I wish the fans could see this team because we're having a special year, and I think they would appreciate how hard our guys are working, and so many of the guys I think they would love watching. But obviously, Tyler's been you said he's been special.
He's in his zone.
I don't know any other way to put it. Really all year he's just taken his game to just another level. He was good last year. I mean, obviously all MIAA last year.
First team all MIAA.
I mean, he had a really good year last year, but again, this year, just in all facets, he's been unbelievable. And he's when your best player is your most competitive and hardest worker, it gives you a chance to be really good, and that's what he's done. He comes in every day, gets after it, competes, and then when the lights come on, he's hooked up and not just in some guys will put up big numbers in blowout games. He's put up big numbers, against the Northwest Missouri States, against the UCOs, against the teams that we've had close battles with, and our guys feed off of him, his confidence. He's a humble kid, a quiet kid, but they feed off that confidence that he has on the court, and they see how hard he competes, and they don't want to let him down. So it's been a lot of fun to watch. I thought he'd probably, with the numbers put up this week and the way we won, I thought he'd probably get it. And his numbers were great again.
28, 10,
Yeah,
and
I mean, it was
7.
it's kind of almost a no-brainer. They gave him co. I was a little. It's fine. The code thing I couldn't quite understand based off of his numbers compared to the other numbers, but it's fine. He doesn't necessarily care about the individual awards, but we're happy for him. I know the team's happy for him.
Well, before we let you go, the Washburn Ichabod's 10-1, taking on Emporia State on Saturday. The Hornets right now sit at 6-5, but they play tomorrow. They play Central Oklahoma at White Auditorium, and then they're going to play you guys on Saturday. Give me a quick scouting report, and I know, again, this is how I know coaches just give me the spiel because I played for Washburn. This game means more. I know all the coaches say the next game's important. Yeah, it is. I get that. This one means more. I mean, this is for your fan base. This is for guys like me who like to say, yeah, we've beaten Emporia, that type of thing. So it's a big one, and it's always a battle, especially at White Auditorium.
Yeah, we've had, the year before I got there, I think they made a half-court shot to win it. My first year came down to the buzzer. Had some battles, especially over there in Emporia. Last year here was a battle. Rivalry game, so they'll be up for it. We told our guys this is a big game. It's a game that we recruit against them. It's a big game for our fans, for our boosters. The news stations here in town cover them. So a lot of reasons. It's a big game, and I like Coach Doty's roster, and they've been started off really well, and then been a little bit up and down since Christmas. But he's got some really nice pieces. They're big. They're big at certain spots. They're long on that back line, and their backcourt is tough. Downing and Turner are tough. I mean, Turner, lefty that's can get his own shot, really, really elite at the mid-range game, and they get him in spots to about 16 to 18 feet, and it's almost automatic. And so they're gonna be ready to play, I'm sure. I'm glad that we have a week to get ready for them, Jake, just to kind of heal up a little bit and a little extra prep time, but should be a fun one, man. It's always a battle, especially when we hook up in Emporia.
Well, congrats on the last 2 wins. Enjoy this Thursday off, and best of luck on Saturday.
Thank you, Jake.
That is head coach Brett Ballard of the Washburn Ichabods. Again, they're ranked 7th in the country, 10-1 on the season. They'll take on Emporia State. 3:30 tip-off for the men, 1:30 for the women. And speaking of the women, we'll recap the win last night for Ron Mchenry's Washburn women's basketball team. They've won 2 of the last 3. We'll talk all things women's basketball with Ron in the capital city of Kansas. Jake Levon with you. Again, I want to thank head coach Brett Ballard for stopping by as the Washburn Ichabods gearing up to take on the Emporia State Hornets. The Washburn women, they played last night. You got to love the Tuesday night game. It's a makeup game. This game was supposed to be played on December 19th. Well, it got played last night. Washburn getting the victory over Lincoln 73-49. As we bring in now the head coach of the Washburn women's basketball team, who is a perfect 16-0 against the Lincoln Blue Tigers. He keeps that winning streak going.
Did he get them on the schedule more often?
Unfortunately,
we only get them once this year.
You only got them once this year. Ron Mchenry joining us, and Ron, you're dealing with the Thursday, Saturday, Tuesday situation. You're going to deal with that 2 more times upcoming. How do you think it worked? Because it's a little bit different. You normally play 2 games, then you get 5 days of practice time, then you get it back ready to go. How do you think that the players handled that situation?
Well, we've had plenty of practice time. I mean, with the those gaps we had in there, we've had plenty of time on the practice court. So it's time to put the game, out there in in motion against another defender, another team, another offensive player. And so it came perfect. Honestly, we played a game on Saturday against Pitt that we played really well in some areas of the game. Just didn't shoot the ball well and didn't finish well. And so, really just disappointing after that game because I thought we played tough enough in some of those areas that we needed to do. We defended pretty well. I mean, if you go before overtime, it was 58-58. That's a number we can win at. And we just didn't shoot the ball very well, shot 30%. And we actually, part of that 30% was missing inside shots that we should have made. Every team can say that, but when you get 15 of them, you probably have a complaint about it that you didn't finish those. And so, I think I was disappointed. I know the girls were disappointed. So, we get the day off on Sunday and then come back Monday, get ready to play Lincoln. And like I told the girls before we played the game, I said, what a better day to do is go play basketball. I mean, really get out there and play, get that frustration out of the way that you played against Pitt that you had after that game, understand what we need to do to get better. And but you get an opportunity rather than grind through a practice where a coach is going to grind you through on a Monday and a Tuesday. They get ready to prepare for a game and play the game. And that's what players really want to do. I want them excited to play.
You didn't like practice?
I love practice, but I also want them excited to play a game.
Wait. Even as a player, you liked practice? I'm going to go all Allen Iverson on you here, man. Practice is awful.
I love practice. As a coach, I really love practice because I can control so much of it. In a game, you're limited by your control of what you can do because you're at the mercy of the other team. And you're at the mercy of officials. You're at the mercy of a lot of things on the floor. You can't stop every play you want to stop and correct it. You got to play through it. So I like practices as a coach in particular. I'd almost rather practice than play. But I want a team that's ready to play basketball and loves that game. I try to teach these players to love the game, love to play it, love to compete in it. And, learn how to compete in it, learn all the things you need to do, and then just love to play the game. That's when you got a really good basketball team. You got a good player that wants to play every game and play it like it might be their last. You never know. You just never know in this day and age. As a player, things can happen to you. It stops you. You're never 100% again. So you want to play every game. You want to have that passion to play. And that's what I'm trying to teach them, that this is a big part of it, that the great players, the great teams have a huge passion to play it and love to play the basketball game. And so before the game, I said, guess what? This is the best day you have going right now because you get to play basketball and you should love to play it and love to play it the right way.
Well, you've played 3 games. I want to go back to the Missouri Southern game because Missouri Southern.
I'm 58, going to turn 59 tomorrow.
Yeah.
So let me think about this. Okay, go ahead.
So the Southern game, you end up winning the game 56-49. They're much, much bigger than you. They go 6'3", 6'3", 5'11". You out-rebounded them. When you look at that game against Southern, your team, you've got some size. A lot of players are about 5'10", 5'11". You don't got a 6'3" player in this situation. So how pleased were you with your effort to get it done there?
We focus on that a lot. We're not as big inside as a lot of teams, but we got a lot of big guards that can go get a board. And I don't have the stats in front of me, and I should know this more. Maybe one of our first or second rebounders is Nuria. I think she averages 8 boards. You would have in front of me.
She's your leading rebounder.
Okay. So,
after tonight's double or last night's double, she's now your leading rebounder.
So there's your 2-3. That's your leading rebounder. 100 rebounds. Well,
she's number 2 on the team.
So I mean, I don't look at stats sometimes in that area. I should, but I know that they can really rebound from that guard spot. But give all the credit to those big kids down low, because a lot of times they're just trying to get their man knocked out, get them off the glass, and then somebody can pick it up. And that's what we've talked about. I mean, anytime you get a guard rebounding too, it gives you another rebounder, and it gives them, that's a quick outlet. They're outletting themselves. They basically, if a guard gets the ball off the glass, they can take it themselves. We don't have to go clear it off and rebound and then outlet the pass to the point guard. They can just go with it. So it's been a big plus for us. One thing that's been difficult, disappointing, is our freelance break. I mean, the example last night's game, we get them to shoot 20% from the floor. We get some steals. We get some turnovers from them. And we had 10 points in transition offense, which is not good when you're putting that many numbers. So we're working hard in that area too, but our glass work has been really good. We're getting better and better at it. Abby, Lauren, Macy, I have no problem with them tangling up with about anybody, even though they're 6-footers to 5'10-ish. They will tangle you up and they will go get a board. So we're not really scared of the height. As long as you get them blocked off, you're fine. If you don't block them off, then you got to play jump ball with them, you might get in trouble. But as long as you got them neutralized, you can go get a rebound, and that's where those guards come into play, coming from the outside in.
We're talking with head coach Ron Mchenry of the Washburn women's basketball team. The Washburn women coming off the win over Lincoln on Tuesday. Again, yesterday they got the win 73-49. But I want to bring up a player because she played so well against Southern. She played well against Pitt State. She played well against Western. She did not play in the game Tuesday. She nicked up. She will play on Saturday, though, from what I have been told from your assistant coaches. So if you want to get mad at them, you can. But Abby Oliver.
Why do I get mad at anybody?
Well, if they didn't want trade secrets.
If you watch me coach, you think I'm mad all the time. I'm just, more disappointed. I think at sideline people go, why are you so? Because I expect so much out of the players.
Well, coaches remember the bad stuff. You don't remember the good
you do,
stuff. But
you can remember a little more, less ampy, than I do sometimes. But
I want to forget that, okay? I want to talk about Abby Oliver, because Abby, for 3 straight games, was fantastic. 12 points against Western. That's big. That tied a career high. But she also had a double-double against Southern, career high 19. And then Pitt State, again, she goes for 12 points. So Abby Oliver has played so well. What's changed?
And I'll tell you a little bit. She's probably disappointed about her Pitt game because she had other opportunities, and you think you're disappointed that maybe she didn't have her best game offensively because her numbers weren't where you need to be. But
12 points, 11 boards, ain't bad.
You got to look at shot percentage. But now nobody shot it well against Pitt.
Yeah,
and Abby will tell you that she should make more of those shots than she did, and so she'll be disappointed in that area. And you look down and the numbers for the game were a minus 18, which means when she was in the game, it was minus 18 points on the board. So she knows that. So it's on the stat sheet anymore. So she knows that she missed some opportunities, but you still look up and it's 12-11. It probably should have been a 20-11 game against Pitt State in terms of difference. So she knows those things. But the one thing about Abby is she goes hard all the time. She's still trying to playing to her back to the basket as a 5'11" post player. There's opportunities for her to just make a simple play, and she makes a difficult play. But she's working through that. And the one thing about her is she will work through it. I mean, she's very coachable. She plays hard. She's only there to win games.
She's expanded her game to shoot the 15-footer. Well, she's good at that.
Abby is a kid who's trending more to a 4. Everybody wants to play a 4, but to play the 4 spot, you need to be a guard skilled player. They call her stretch 4 anymore. You're playing 4 guards in the 4. We do a lot of that. And so she is trending towards that direction, but it's always nice to have a 4 that can post it as well. So playing all these post moves and all this stuff here, when she does eventually move to the perimeter, which she will, because she's working on her 3 ball, she's working on driving the basketball to the basket, working up on balls, all the things we do. Then you can match her up against somebody who's got to guard her in the perimeter and then walk her down to the post as well. So she becomes a dual threat then from inside outside. It's an inside outside player, and she'll get to there, and she's getting there every day. But she works at her game. It's not a player that says, I'm all right, I'm where I'm at. I guess it's where I'll stay. That's not her mentality. Her mentality is work hard on her post moves. And then on her own time, she spends a lot of time working on her game on the perimeter with her shot and even drive moves out there. So she'll eventually move away from that basket. But again, she's a player that you can put down in there because of her skill level. So that's a dual threat player from the perimeter and the inside. And she'll be a real hard one to stop eventually.
Yeah, Abby Oliver's played very well. You did play on Tuesday, but hopefully all signs point to playing on Saturday. And Abby could be a big factor against the zone that Toby
Sure.
Wynn puts together. And we'll talk more about Emporia State coming up here in just a little bit. Same thing with the game against Lincoln. We'll get a quick timeout here at Skinny Sports Bar and Grill. We're talking with the head coach of the Washburn women's basketball team, Ron Mchenry, coming off 3 of their last 4 games on the winning side, beating Western, beating Southern, falling to Pitt in overtime, and then, of course, beating Lincoln. We'll be on the road for the next 3 games, a 1:30 tip-off on Saturday at Emporia. We'll recap the game against Lincoln, get into the Hornets coming up here for the Washburn Coaches Show live at Skinny Sports Bar and Grill. Bar and Grill located here at Huntoon and Gage. Jake Lamont along with head coach Ron Mchenry as we will finish up this edition of the Washburn Coach Show. Again, coming up next week, the Washburn Coaches Show will be here at Skinny Sports Bar and Grill every single Wednesday during the basketball season as we are halfway through. Now, the Washburn men have played 11 games. The Washburn women have played 10. They just made up one of their games last night as the Ichabods took care of Lincoln. They still have 2 more games they have to make up against Northeastern State and Northwest Missouri State. And here's hoping they stay free, and we'll get some basketball. Again, their next 3 games will be on the road. As talking all things Washburn basketball here at Skinny Sports Bar and Grill. You can come out Sunday, AFC Championship game, Chiefs versus the Bills. Again, every single TV will be here on the Chiefs. Again, coming out great food and drink specials every single time the Chiefs are in action. And here's hoping they'll be in action one more time on February the 7th in the Super Bowl 55. They won Super Bowl 54, Ron, because you went to the parade, didn't you?
No.
You didn't go to the parade. Are you going to have a parade tomorrow when you turn 59 years young?
No. COVID, Jake, you have a parade.
Well, you can have like a.
I can have a Zoom parade.
You can You can have a socially distanced get together. Maybe after a game.
At a certain age, it's coming.
The next one is the big one.
I'm not having. I hope I have the next one, but I'm not going to celebrate the next one. I'm going to
You'll do whatever anybody who tells you to do. Like if your better
other than
half,
my wife, she can tell me what to do. But
yeah, well, what if she said, what if she will next year for the big 6-0
well,
again?
she's not far off of it, so she may not want
We're
hers
not
either.
talking about her.
Well, she
Bishop,
she
you're the
knows
best.
what goes comes around, so she may not want.
Oh,
to do
you
that.
ain't planning nothing, man. You ain't a planner. Don't
Hey,
give
don't
me.
get on me. My wife says I haven't planned one thing in my life, and
Well,
she's probably correct. But
you
I don't need to be told that.
you planned practices,
I do plan practices.
so there you go.
But I think she was
You
thinking
can't
about
tell.
planning something for her, like a vacation,
Yeah,
getaway.
that's what travel agents are for.
Well, yeah, that's what I told her. I said, I'm not an electrician. I'm not a plumber. I'm not all those people. I'm not a travel planner. I mean, get a hold of somebody. We'll go.
Well, you turn 59 tomorrow, so happy birthday,
Thank you.
Ron.
Thank
That's
you.
a good thing.
Yeah.
So, for those of you who want to, send Ron Mchenry a nice birthday card.
No cards, no presents. Just
Will your team
just wish me good luck in all the games we play.
will your team do anything? They always do.
Oh, they do, and I feel
they love
bad.
you. They love you.
I don't know. They love me. They're just trying to,
Get on your good side.
probably. Yeah.
Well,
but they don't put their names on it. So I mean, I know it comes from the whole group, but if somebody really wanted to be special and try to get my attention, they need to drop a little extra in there and put their name on it. If not, it's a team effort. So we're back to neutral.
well, we will be discussing the Ichabod victory. They got you a win yesterday before your birthday, so they got you a win. You took care of business against the Lincoln Blue Tigers, and defensively, started out they got to the rim a little bit, but you figured out stopped it because that's really their big skill is getting it to the rim. And you figured that out, and I think Hunter Bentley did her thing. Nuria Barrientos does her thing. She had a fourth double-double of the year, 13 points, 12 boards. But I want to discuss Lauren Cassidy. The 5'10 freshman had 11 points. That's a career high. 7 rebounds. That's a career high. And guess what 4 assists was? A career high. I mean, her best game, 11, 7, and 4. That's a good line for a post player inside. What has made her take this next step? Because she's played well as of late.
And she's a tough young lady. That's a compliment. She, if you were going anywhere, let's see. I mean, if you want to go into a fight, she'd be there. She's the kid that is going to have your back. She's going to play hard. She's going to play physical. She's going to get after it. She competes at a high level. She's just trying to, match the skill level. She's still working on some skill level things. But for a 5'10 post player, she's got physical tools as far as being able to physically push bigs off. She can get on the perimeter and guard you as well. Stops on balls, sets a great on ball screen, and she works the glass hard. I mean,
she's a good offensive rebound.
But even defensively, she gets her man off almost every time. She's just very disciplined and plays at an extreme level of intensity that you just don't see a lot. And she ain't afraid to stick her nose in a battle. And, she's going to continue to work on her skill level. She's another kid that we're trying to get from the 5 spot if we eventually get another big in there that can help them move out. But right now, they are our bigs, and she plays at a high level. But she's pretty skilled in the perimeter. Other than right now, we're working on shooting the ball. But she can dribble it as well as anybody on the perimeter. She's got great fundamentals at the perimeter. But it's just trying to get her able to shoot the ball from a little more deeper spot. But right now, what she does is pretty special for us because I'm not afraid to take her anywhere. She's going to get after it, and she's going to battle the game, and that's what makes her special.
Offensive rebounding is you just got to have a knack for it. I don't think you can teach somebody. I mean, she always is on the glass on the offensive
first
side.
of all, you have to want to go every time.
Yeah, and she does.
And you'll watch film. I mean, she's down around the basket a lot, so it helps because she doesn't have to run from a long area usually to go there. But even if you catch her on the perimeter, she is going to the glass from 17 feet. You'll get some kids that coaches convinced to go to the offensive glass, and they kind of go into there, but not with the purpose of going to get the ball. They go in there and somebody touches them, and that stops them. I don't know if you put a body on Lauren, if that's going to stop her. She just understands, and she has a great knack to be able to get touched and blocked out and still fight that block up and still see the ball. I mean, what happens a lot of times, somebody gets blocked out hard. They either stop on it or they kind of lock down into a fight to get around them and lose track of the ball while they're doing that fight. Lauren just has her eyes up on the rim, trying to find the ball and fighting through her block out. So that's what makes her so tough. We have some kids that are going, I think Nuria goes hard. But if somebody puts a body on her, she'll kind of stop on it. Macy should be one of the best offensive rebounds I've ever seen. When I was a recruiter of her junior year in high school, I thought she would set every record rebounding. She's just got a little bit of knack when they put a body on her. She kind of stops on it, where Lauren doesn't. Abby does a good job of fighting through screen blockouts as well. So where Lauren's different right now from all them is that she extremely works hard, and one blockout's not going to stop her. She's going to continue to go to glass.
Well, the Washburn Ichabod's winners of 3 of their last 4. They take on Emporia State. Toby Wynn's group. They got a win last night over Northwest Missouri State, winning 58-51. They're going to be in action coming up tomorrow. They've dealt with some COVID-19 issues, so they can play Central Oklahoma on Thursday, and then they will end up playing Washburn again on Saturday with a 1:30 tip-off time. I will say this: will you watch the game tomorrow? Will you watch it live? Will you? Again, you just like watching basketball. So
I will not watch it live. No, I've seen them on film enough to know what they're doing. I don't need to, stare at that. I'm more concerned, and not concerned. I'm just more preparing our basketball team for what we need to do. We know what the Emporia is going to do. There's a pretty good chance we know what their player personnel is. We know what they're going to do offensively. We know what they're going to do defensively. So we don't have to just stare at their play. We might look at, in the past they've run a real hard 2-3 trapping, 2-3. Where this year they're not as deep and they don't have Jessica Wayne.
I was going to say the main thing is they don't have Jessica Wayne,
and so they're playing a little more different 2-3. So we'll see against Central Oklahoma's a really good basketball team how Central Oklahoma handles it. It's never bad to study somebody else what they're doing. Mm-hmm. We have our sets we want to run against it, but where Central Oklahoma attacked it was successful was where we'll want to attack it and be successful as well. So we'll look at that after the game's over. We'll get that film back in on. What would they play Thursday? We'll get that Friday morning before practice, so I can study that. I'll look at that a little bit to see how they attack that zone, and then what they did against. Joe was one of the best point guards in maybe the nation.
Scoring, put up big numbers,
scoring 20 a game, and they really go through her a lot. And we'll find out how UCO guards there off the on balls. We're a lot of on ball sets with her and some players. So I'll get a look at that just to see if that was effective what they did, because we can throw a couple of different looks off the on ball, and we'll try to figure out what will be effective in that. But not concerned about our team, but just making sure our team's ready to play with what we do, and then adjust off that on Friday's practice a little bit. What's going on tomorrow? We'll spend a little time against their zone, is how we can simulate that zone. We did a little bit today against the well, but we also work against our other stuff as well, defensively, what we might want to run against them as well. So it's just kind of putting the package together. We pretty much know what's going to go on. Just see if there's a couple adjustments offensively and defensively we can do to help the UCO in their game, if it help us.
Well, again, I apologize because you're not going to watch the game because you're going to have a birthday celebration tomorrow.
I think we practice till about 7:30.
Well, okay, you go to bed at 8?
Yeah. Hey, honestly, coaching is probably as good and fun as I enjoy it. So I don't have a problem with it. I can enjoy my birthday, coaching basketball, be around the players. I enjoy that. I don't have a problem with it. It's just what I've done for a long period of time.
Yeah, for the last 21 years.
Usually January 21st is really in the middle of the game.
Yeah, that's true.
Usually we're playing on it or something. So it's always some action. That's fine. If the birthday gets worked around it. Hey, at this time, again, my birthday's not that important. Catching a win is. And so we're digging in for that.
Well, best of luck on Saturday.
Thanks, Jake.
That is head coach Ron Mchenry of the Washburn women's basketball team. And that will finish things off here from Skinny Sports Bar and Grill. The Washburn men, again, ranked 7th in the country. They have won their last 2 after falling just for the first time. They're 10-1. The Washburn women won 3 of their last 4. They will be in action again Saturday. No game coming up tomorrow. It's on Saturday. 1:30, 3:30 tip-offs from White Auditorium in Emporia. Should be a fun one. The next Thursday and Saturday, Washburn will be on the road against Newman and Central Oklahoma. So that'll do it here from Skinny Sports Bar and Grill. Again, come on out for the lunch special, 11 to 2. Great cheeseburger and fry meal. So for Brett Ballard and head coach Ron Mchenry, I am Jake LeBon saying so long from Skinny Sports Bar and Grill.